Hey, look out. It's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
You know, we've heard about this young lady. She's amazing. Now we finally get to see her and talk to her. Her name is Melanie Penn. She's a singer-songwriter, and she's got a new album. The last song in the album, you'll be able to hear it this Friday. And if you've been following her, you'll have the complete set, and it is amazing. It's called More Alive 2. Melanie, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing this morning?
We are doing well.
Wonderful. It's not often that we get to say we're talking to somebody live in Nashville, but that's a cool vibe, isn't it, when you can say that?
I can't believe that. You've got to talk to people live in Nashville all the time. You say that to all your guests.
Okay. Yes, we do. No, but it's good.
But live in Nashville, and you are in a new apartment, just moving in, and got boxes everywhere, still unpacking. I mean, you're freshly
sitting
in
on
Nashville.
The floor. Yeah, I'm sitting on the floor right now in my makeshift studio. I'm a 3-day-old Nashvillian.
Wow.
How about that? So once you get everything in place, now I don't know what. Now we'll get down to business here in a second. I don't know what kind of mover you are. There are several different movers where you move your stuff in, and it takes you a while to put the pictures up or the stuff in place. But I've also known people that they don't sleep until they've got the entire house or apartment finished. It's like, where are you in that spectrum?
I might be in the impatient end of the spectrum. Like, I really want to be settled. And like, one reason I want to be settled is because like my mind can't rest into that creative state.
Yeah.
If it's like chaos in my living environment, it's like, so I'm kind of feeling that lack of peace, but it takes time. It takes time to get everything kind of situated. And I don't know if either of y'all have shopped for furniture recently, but it's like 20 weeks, 50 weeks, crazy wait times for furniture.
Yep, we got new furniture probably almost about a year ago, and there was a wait, and it's a whole lot more expensive than it used to be, from what I remember. So,
there's a whole price thing going on. So I like to go to the thrift shops and just throw something in my vehicle. Like
I love that.
Smart.
Well, Melanie, if you're up for it, I think here at the station we may have some old beach chairs or lawn chairs that we used to use on location when we would do live broadcast. If we might send those to you if we can find them. What do you think?
Or just send me your location. Yeah. My vibe could be like old frat house.
Yes. You need some milk cartons as a table, and that's perfect.
That's funny. But
lawn chairs in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny because that's exactly what I was thinking. She picked up on that. Very, very brilliant young lady, Melanie Penn. More Alive 2 is coming out on this Friday, which is the 15th of July. And as we talked about this before we went live, you've released song after song. So it'll be the final song on Friday. And people can get the project probably where? On Spotify, Amazon? Where can they get this up?
So all the songs will be streaming by Friday.
Okay.
And then if they want physical product, this release is vinyl only, and they can buy a vinyl on melaniepenn.com.
Wow. And then, vinyl.
I know. Cool, right?
Yes.
Before we know it, we're going to be making cassettes again. Like, selling cassettes. No. I guarantee you that's where this is going.
8 tracks and cassettes. That's what we need more of. Right?
Come on, be honest. How many cassettes do you still own? Did you ever own a cassette?
Did I own a cassette? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not as young as I look. I definitely. My first cassette I ever bought was Michael W. Smith, Eye to Eye.
Okay, I had that one. Sure.
Fantastic. The thing I miss about cassettes the most was like you could unpack the liner notes like they fit in your hand, and you could just remember you would unfold it like 40 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
I do remember that.
But More Alive Volume 2 is the follow-up to More Alive Volume 1.
Yeah.
So all together, it's like 20 songs in that collection that I released over the last 2 years. It's like a COVID era project.
Yeah.
Which thankfully we're at the end of.
Yes.
Yes. Praise the Lord for that.
That's right.
Now not only COVID, did you actually had COVID in the process of writing this and putting this together. Your dad became ill and passed, and we're so sorry for that. in that process, how did you get your head together? Because those are two, especially your dad, two major things that you deal with emotionally. How did you get your head back in the game?
Well, that's a good question. There's a lot of things. I think we'll all be processing the COVID era for a long time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of I think there's a lot of fallout. We don't know yet what all the long-term effects are. So all that to say, there's a lot of things about the COVID era that I'm like, wow, that was really painful. But in my life, in the arc of my life, the quarantine gave me my last year with my dad. So I didn't know beginning of COVID that it would be the last year of my dad's life. And if it had been normal life, I would have been traveling around and trying to squeeze in visits with him and stuff.
Yeah.
And because of the quarantine, I moved in with them. I moved in with my mom and dad. I helped to take care of my dad. And it was just an amazing gift.
Wow.
So to answer your question, my head was kind of in the game because I was so aware that it was a real holy time. I think births, the season around life beginning and the season around life ending, both of those seasons are so sacred. So yeah. I was just so thankful that I got to be a witness to the last year of my dad's life. Every day I was real present with him.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, Melanie, you lived in New York for quite a while. Did you just move from New York, or were you living in Virginia? Or
I left New York during COVID. So when my dad, but before that, it had been 20 years. I was kind of in it for the long haul. Yeah.
Yeah, and for those of us who are kind of theater nerds, you were in several productions there. Is that something you miss, being live on stage in the show world?
Yeah, I did. So I did musicals for a lot of years before I kind of transitioned into only focusing on writing songs, being a solo artist. And I think a lot of my songs have that storytelling. There's a lot of storytelling in my songs that I think comes from that theater background.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's always a point of view. There's a beginning, middle, and an end. And I think I strive for that in my songwriting because all the songs I sang before that were telling a story. And sometimes I wonder if in my old age I'll go back to Broadway musicals. Wouldn't that be cool?
You should.
Yeah.
You should definitely.
Yeah. I'll be 65, 70, and I'll be waltzing back on Broadway stage.
Wait a minute. What you just said? Is that old? 65?
I meant.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
As soon as I said that, I wanted to walk it back.
That's okay. Dan's not offended.
To me, 65 is old. So okay.
Dan's not offended.
I don't think it's old. I don't think it's old.
Hey, we're talking
let's push it up. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
We're talking with. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. Let me reset a second. Melanie Penn here. What a delight. Which I did not read. I missed the part about her doing musicals totally. And
that stood out to me because I love musicals. I was she was on Broadway, and that's awesome.
That's pretty awesome. Melanie Penn with us, more live too. Check out the project or projects. Check out one as well. And as she mentioned, it's going to be on the streaming services, and the vinyl copy or copies. It would be really cool to get. So we'll tell you
if you have a turntable, of course.
Yeah. I've got two of them. So I'm so glad that everything is coming back. Although I'm not going to miss the hiss of the cassette. I am excited about vinyl. Well, let's talk a little bit about this now, because you bring up a point. Dan and I were just talking with someone that's been in the business as long as we have. About music, and we love the fact that worship music is on the radio and being played, but there's a genre. I don't know if you call it a genre. The storytelling music has kind of disappeared, and I think people need to hear that, want to hear that. You think that is coming back, and is that have you even noticed that that's missing on a certain level?
I have totally noticed.
Yeah.
You zeroed in on the blessing and the quandary of where I am career-wise, because I'm not writing worship music, and I mean, I love worship music, but it's just not my gifting. I think it's amazing when people write songs for the church, but I don't do that. And that has kind of has such increased listenership that now that's considered like Christian music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a whole other category. Like I write pop songs from a Christian worldview. Like I want people to like, you know, be driving on the road trip, listening to an album and feeling like real sunny and upbeat, listening to Melanie Penn.
Right.
And I don't really know a lot of artists who are doing that in this space right now.
Right.
So I think like where music is going, I have no idea. I've never really known. And when I think I know, I don't.
It changes.
So yeah, it changes. Right. Like I never know like, oh, people are gonna like this, or they're gonna, you know, where's the gravity gonna go? So I just try to write songs that I really enjoy and feel like need to be out there. And that's all you can do. That's all you can do as an artist.
Yeah.
And just like trust the Lord with the outcome.
Yeah. Talk about your songwriting process. You said earlier that you have to get things put away so everything's, you know, kind of in place before you can really get in that creative zone. Now, talk about how you get in that creative zone and what really inspires you.
I get asked that question a lot by young songwriters, actually. And the best thing that I do, so I do need my environment organized. Like total chaos is hard for me, like I'm living in now. But the best thing that I do to kick off a song idea is go for a walk. Like if I can go for a walk and kind of have that like primary activity of walking, and then your secondary activity, it's almost like ideas in the shower. It's kind of like the same idea. Like your creative brain can kick in, and I'll almost always get an idea that then I can go home and finish. And I read recently that Garth Brooks does the same thing. He writes all his songs on walks. So I'm like, hey, I'll take songwriting. I'll follow in Garth Brooks's footsteps, literally.
Yeah.
You have friends in low places. It's awesome.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dan.
There's the gospel lesson for you right there.
Yeah.
Melanie Penn with us, More Alive 2. You got to pick up the project. Pick up one More Alive 1 as well. But this week it will be complete. You'll be able to get every single song on that project, More Alive 2. Some of the songs, The Story, Look Up, Just Jump. That's got to be upbeat, right? Is that upbeat?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then The Melody. And then the one to be released on Friday. What's the song that's going to be released on Friday?
So 2 things come out on Friday. One is a video for Follow You.
Okay.
And then a single is coming out the same day. The single is He's Got the Whole World. And it's you know, based on the idea of the children's song He's Got the Whole World in His Hands, but it's a very like grown up pop song.
So now I'm going to have that song going through my head for the rest of the day now. He's got the whole world.
Well,
thank you so much, Melanie.
Well, on Friday, hopefully you can have like my version of it.
Have a different version. That would be
it's not based at all on the children's song, except for the idea of He's got the whole world in his hands.
That's good.
Melanie Penn with us. All right. I know these are all your babies that you have written and that you sing. Is there one that you could just sing every day now for the rest of your life? I mean, you know, there are artists that write stuff and it's great stuff, but they get to a point where they're kind of tired of it. But is there one of these songs that really stands out to you that you just can't wait to perform it, to sing it, for people to hear it?
That's a good question. I mean, I'm just now getting back to touring after COVID, so I can't imagine getting sick of singing any of these songs anytime soon. You know, after like kind of being off the road for a long time. I love the melody. And I love Follow You. Both those songs I think are enduring. And I think I'll be singing those 2 for a long, long time.
Now, since you've picked up, as you mentioned, and you like all the other artists, right? We do talk to folks, you know, Casting Crowns and some of the other touring groups, and things have really picked up dramatically for them probably over the Dan, last 6 months, last 5,
right.
6, 7, whatever the months. What have you seen so far now that you're out there and about again? and seeing folks, talking to folks, listening to what they have to say. What are they saying to you? Just about anything. Are they? No doubt they're glad to be in that setting, right?
Yeah. I mean, I noticed bigger acts. So I'm not a huge act, like, famous. I think acts that have a lot of infrastructure behind them, like Casting Crowns, like the really famous artists, got back on the road right away because infrastructure was already there.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of developing. So like going into 2020, I had a lot of momentum, and then it was kind of at a crucial point, if that makes sense. So I feel like I have to build momentum back. But I will say audiences, and I think I could speak for everyone, I just think audiences are real grateful. They're real forgiving. Like I'm a little rusty up there, like making mistakes sometimes, and like the audience is right there with you. It's like they do not care. They just don't care.
Good.
And there is I also think for me personally, what I went through in the last 2 years, like I find I have a new weightiness on stage. Like I'm always kind of jokey and goofy on stage, but there's also like a new weightiness I notice in myself with my presence. And so I'm excited to be like really doing shows again and lean into that. It's like, wow, I'm a more mature person now. It's like, that's a whole new like set of tools to bring to a live show. And I think the next year or two could be really cool from that perspective.
Talking to Melanie Penn. Now, Melanie, you mentioned a little bit earlier you had a Michael W. Smith cassette. Who else were you big into growing up? Who influenced you and made you really want to kind of be a musician?
Oh, one guess. I'll give you one guess.
I'm gonna say Stephen Curtis Chapman. Maybe. I don't know.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Amy
Woman,
Grant.
Female. You got it.
There you go. Amy
Okay.
Grant.
You got it.
Yeah. She's
Oh my gosh.
sweetheart.
What a sweetheart. And I can remember, being at summer camp and like with my Walkman, cassette Walkman. The best thing about the Walkman is you could like you could rewind the song to hear it again.
Yeah.
And it would be like, and then
you could tell. You could tell.
Yeah, you wait for the quiet part. And then
exactly.
So like listening to Amy Grant in my headphones at summer camp, just like lying in my bunk bed being like, oh, wow, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to do it. And, and I just, I think she's really important.
Yeah. Well, you might run into her there in Nashville. Who knows?
Was just going to say, I mean, that's like her sweet spot right in there. You're talking about the Ryman. She's been there how many times? Of course, Vince, showing up. So you never know. There could be a collision. I got to say that it was a few years back. She was, Dan and I were walking through the halls, and she was actually in the building. And we walked through the door, and she was just right there to the left of us. She didn't have any handlers. She didn't have anybody protecting her from us. Usually people have protectors for Dan and I. So, but she was so sweet. She was so kind, and no pretense.
Just down to earth.
Yeah. And I appreciated that because we've met others, not so much. It's just hard to get to, and we're not stalkers on any level. But I think hopefully you'll run into her. I think that'd be really, really cool. Melanie Penn, the project's called More Alive 2. All right, Melanie. So you're touring, you're going out there doing some stuff. No doubt you're filling up your itinerary. What's the rest of the year? 2020. Where are we?
2022.
What is 22? What does 22, 23 look for you as far as getting out there?
Well, I'm putting together the fall now. And then I always do a big Christmas tour. So we're putting that together now too. So the last 2 Christmas tours have been a little bit lean, but we should have a really healthy Christmas tour this year. And then I have, like, got to be honest, as soon as this song comes out on Friday, like I've got another album ready to go. Like we're working on the timing, but it's like finished 10-song EP. And so we're working on like when to launch that project. And I'm real excited for people to hear those songs.
Hey, if you're up for it, before you release that one, we'd love to talk to you, or just after. We can talk about it, whatever's good for you. We'd love to talk.
I'll talk with you all every day. If you need like a third, don't you need like a third host? Like
we do.
Like
we need a female presence on the show. Yes, yes, we do.
We used to have a third banana, is what we called that person, and it was usually a female, and she's very, very, I mean, just blended with us so well. Yep. So yes, that'd be awesome.
You just let me know. You just let me know, and I'll send over the details.
You know, I think though, after time, you'll be very sorry that you even met us. I think it probably would be the fact. Melanie Penn, what a delight! You got to hear her stuff. Hey, check out her stuff on cassette. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not out yet.
Not yet. No cassettes yet.
But vinyl is right there at your fingertips. So check it out. Melanie Penn. That's 2 N's with Penn.com or at Melanie Penn on IG. And it's called
Instagram.
Instagram. Oh, thank you, Dan. Yeah, you can tell who's older, right? The IG, the Facebook. Hey, and the video this week is also coming out, right? So folks can see that. They can see that where? On your website then?
Website, YouTube. Okay. YouTube's really the best place.
Yeah. Hey, and if she's in a town near you at a venue, go see her. And then in the fall, and then in Christmas, which is going to be huge. And then as soon as we find out about the new project, we'll get her back on and we'll talk about it. So check it out. Melanie, you're a delight. We appreciate you. We do look forward to seeing you again. Blessings. Thanks for doing what you do. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.